Hey, what's up, everyone? Hope you're doing good and having a solid day. This update feels less like a quick fix and more like the developers really listening to how people are playing the game and what's been feeling a little rough around the edges. So, first off, one of the biggest quality of life changes is the new weapon preset system. And honestly, this is one of those things you don't realize you desperately needed until it's suddenly there. Before, swapping builds meant manually juggling weapons, skills, and setups every time you wanted to try something different. Now you can save full loadouts and switch between them much more smoothly. If you like experimenting with different playstyles or adapting to the different combat situations, this alone is a massive win. It cuts down on downtime and keeps the pace of the game feeling snappy instead of fiddly. On top of that, there's a nice batch of new cosmetic content, especially focused on Patty. New accessories and visual options might not change gameplay directly, but they do add personality. And Aeruta has always leaned into charm and character. These additions make customization feel more rewarding, especially if you've already spent a good amount of time with the game and want something fresh to show for it. It's the kind of stuff that longtime players will appreciate because it gives you more ways to make your character feel like yours. Another big addition is the community items and points shop integration. This brings Aeruta more in line with other Steam titles that reward engagement beyond just playing the game. By interacting with the community, you can unlock profile items, backgrounds, and other extras that tie into the game's identity. It doesn't affect combat or progression, but it does strengthen that sense of the game being part of a wider ecosystem, which is always nice if you enjoy customizing your Steam profile or showing support for a game you like. Balance changes are also a major part of this update. And while not every single tweak jumps out immediately, the overall feel of combat is more refined. Some weapons that felt a bit too strong have been pulled back slightly, while others that struggled to keep up have received buffs to make them more viable. Enemy behavior and damage values have also been adjusted in certain areas, making fights feel fairer without losing that edge of challenge. It's less about making the game easier and more about making outcomes feel earned rather than random or frustrating. There are also improvements to skill interactions and cooldowns. A few abilities that previously felt awkward to use or poorly timed now flow better in combat, which helps keep momentum going. These are the kinds of changes that might not be obvious in patch notes alone, but you feel them once you're actually playing. Combat feels smoother, transitions feel cleaner, and you're less likely to get stuck waiting on a skill that just barely missed its timing window. UI and usability updates round out a big chunk of this patch as well. Menus are clearer, certain descriptions have been rewritten to better explain what skills and items actually do, and some visual clutter has been cleaned up. Navigation feels more intuitive, especially for newer players who might have felt a little overwhelmed before. Small adjustments like icon clarity and menu responsiveness go a long way in making the whole experience feel more polished. Of course, no update would be complete without a long list of bug fixes, and there are plenty here. Issues with quests not triggering correctly, enemies behaving oddly in specific scenarios, and occasional visual glitches have been addressed. Performance has also seen some attention, with stability improvements that reduce crashes and hiccups during longer sessions. These aren't flashy changes, but they matter a lot, especially if you've ever had your immersion broken by something clearly not working as intended.